Hi, everyone. My name is Adrienne Kirshner, and I'm the Deputy Digital Organizing Director with the Coordinated Campaign here in North Carolina. Today, we're going to walk you through ThruText and how to use it to text fellow North Carolinians in support of the Democratic Party and getting out the vote this November. So first, welcome. We're really excited to have you here. It's going to take all of us to make this happen. You guys are going to be super important to our campaign. Given the situation these days, texting and phone banking are two of our critical tools for reaching voters here in North Carolina, and you guys are going to be right there on the front line. We're going to be text banking every Tuesday and Thursday going forward, and we might be adding more days into that as we get closer to Election Day. We're also going to be using Slack, an online community where that will be the hub for all of our interactions. We'll be there to answer all your questions and support you live in real time while you're texting. It's a great way to talk to each other and get to know each other too a little bit while you're texting together. So first, what is peer-to-peer texting? Peer-to-peer texting is just like what you do on your phone when you're texting people you know. The only difference is you're using a special application called ThruText, which allows you to text a lot of people in a much faster way. So instead of just doing one conversation at a time, you can go through and have multiple conversations and then engage with people as they reply to you. We do all of the content creation. So we write the script for you in advance. That minimizes uncertainty for you so that you don't have to worry about what you're going to say and how you're going to answer questions. We try to anticipate and have that all written for you, and then you just select the appropriate pre-written response as appropriate. You also have the opportunity to modify those messages to kind of tailor them as the situation needs, or maybe to make it sound a little bit more like you. You have the option to do that. We're going to be texting people about a bunch of different things. We're going to be talking about the importance of defeating Trump's agenda. We're going to be talking about the different Democratic candidates up and down the ballot that we're supporting here in North Carolina. We're going to be talking about voter registration and getting out the vote. And we're also going to be asking them to join us and volunteer with us through the next couple of months. In case you're wondering, the messages do not come from your personal phone number. Yes, you do need to use your phone number to create an account in ThruText, but that number is never visible to the people that you're texting. The system actually assigns a randomly assigned North Carolina phone number for you so that your phone number is kept private. You just log in on your computer or with your phone at thrutext.io/login, and that's how you get started. My personal preference is to use a computer. I just find it easier to use, but you definitely can use your phone if you prefer. So how do you get started? The first thing you do is create an account in ThruText. When you do this, when you sign up for a text banking shift through Mobilize America, you'll get an email with a prompt to create an account in ThruText. When you do this, we recommend not waiting until your text banking shift is about to start to get set up. Sometimes people run into issues, so we recommend doing it about a day or so in advance. Create your account, have all your login information ready to go, so that if you do have any issues, you can reach out to us for support, or you can reach out directly to ThruText for support. That Slack channel is that Slack community is a great way to reach out to us if you're having any issues. For existing users, you don't need to create a new account. All you need to do is log in with your old account information. So if you volunteered on a past campaign or in the primaries and you already used ThruText, use that login information. If you used an application called Relay in the past, Relay is the same thing as ThruText. So if you used Relay, just use that login information. If you do need to update your contact information, we recommend logging in with your old information and then changing your email address or whatever in your profile once you're logged in. If you do have any trouble logging in, something important to keep in mind is that we can't reset your passwords for you. You really do need to contact ThruText directly if you're having any issues. For new users, this is what the screen looks like when you're creating an account. You'll get a link once you sign up through Mobilize, you'll get a link in the email to sign up for ThruText. And this is what the sign up looks like. You enter all your information, and that's the first step to get started. And again, just remember your phone number remains private. It's used here as like a unique identifier for your account. It keys off this phone number, not your email address. So, so just know that yes, you do need to provide it, but no, it's not visible to anyone. So you've created your account and you're logged into the system. What's next? The next thing is we assign a batch of contacts to you to text. When you log into ThruText, you'll see a screen that looks like this. And this will show you the campaign that you've been assigned to, and you click on that and you get started. So when you're logged into ThruText on a computer, your screen is basically divided into thirds. Over here on the left, you have the list of names of all the people that have been assigned to you to text today. Over here on the right, you have a bunch of useful tools. So for example, you have general information such as what is this particular texting campaign about? If you need additional information, we usually provide a texting guide for you that you can link to right here, and that'll give you a bunch of tips and tricks. It'll give you some FAQs that'll help you, and then it kind of goes through and explains all of the different messages in the script so that you have good information on what to say when. The pre-written replies are all in here. So this is where you would click to see all the pre-written replies and select the one that you want to use in the conversation. And then survey refers to the survey responses. So as you're having a conversation with a North Carolinian, anytime they give you information, whether it's what issue is most important to them, whether they support a candidate, you click over here to survey, and there's a bunch of buttons and checkboxes for you to like record that information so that we can capture it and use it for future conversations. This middle section of the screen is where you're having your active conversation. So for example, you see this person's name right here, and it corresponds to the highlighted name over here on the left. And this is where you would have your conversation. So when you click on a reply, it's going to auto-populate right here. If you need to edit it at all, you can, and then you just click send. Sending messages. Okay, so the way texting works is we assign, let's say we assign 20 people to you to text. There's an initial message that we've written. You need to click through and send all 20 of those initial messages before you can start replying to any people. So once you first get logged in and you see all the people assigned to you, you start clicking through, sending all those initial messages until you get to inbox 0. Then you can wait and see if replies start coming in, and you can start replying to those people as they engage with you. Or down in the lower left corner, that you'll sometimes see a request more conversations button. If we have that activated, you'll see that button when you've completed sending all of your messages and you'd like to request another batch. Sending replies. So after you've sent all those initial messages, you wait for people to reply to you, and then you can start replying to them. As I said before, all the recommended replies are pre-written for you, so you don't need to spend time researching or looking up information to figure out how to answer the questions. It's all written there for you. You just click on the one you want, and it populates right in there. If you're using your phone, this is what your screen looks like, and you have to tab back and forth. Like this is your active conversation, and you tab back and forth between the assignments, which are the people assigned to you, and the tools, which are your recommended replies and your survey responses. This is what the recommended replies look like. It's just a big list. This text in bold is like the title of each recommended reply. If you click on it, the full text of that response will show here. And if that's the reply you want to use, you click on the plus sign and it auto-populates into your text field. You can modify it and then click send, and you're on your way. This is what survey responses look like. So for example, if in the script we say, hey, are you registered to vote? And they say yes, you would go over here and click yes. What's important to keep in mind here is that when you're texting with people, it really truly is just like a text conversation you're having on your phone. So if you don't record the survey responses, we don't capture this important information. And I can't highlight enough just how important it is to capture this information. Just having the conversation doesn't get us where we need to be. We need to record their responses and capture that information so that we can use it for future conversations, or to follow up with them, say to like ask them if they want to volunteer with us and schedule a one-on-one. Another example, if we ask what issue is important to them and they say healthcare, you would come over here and check the healthcare box. If they said 2 issues are important, you could check 2 boxes, but that records the information and it sends it back to the database so that we have all that information for future reference. Sometimes you're going to get wrong numbers, and that's okay. One of the things that we're doing here is sort of cleaning the data. Sometimes people's phone numbers change, and so that's totally normal. What you do is you record the survey response wrong number, and then we've set it up in a way that you can ask them if they'd like to provide their updated contact information. And if they're comfortable with that, you can enter their correct first and last name in the survey response so that we can update it on the back end in the database. You can still then continue with the script if it's a wrong number, but they're still supportive of what we're doing. And they live in state. We want to have North Carolinians talking to North Carolinians, so you can still encourage them to get involved with us, volunteer, and continue on with the script. Opting out. When you contact someone, if they reply stop or opt out, you must opt them out. It's really easy. If there's just a little button right here that you click on, if you're on your phone. If you're on a computer, you'll literally see a button that says opt out. You just click on that and then you're done with the conversation. If someone keeps replying to you and they're offensive or threatening or hostile in some way, we do have a survey response to mark them hostile so that we record that and we don't continue interacting with them going forward. Texting etiquette. I'm sure this isn't going to be surprising to anyone. You're representing us when you're texting. So it's really important to be professional, be friendly, and be positive. Don't ever say anything in a text message that you wouldn't want to see reported in the news the next day. Stay positive, no swearing, no profanity, nothing like that. If someone trolls you, like they're just being difficult and they're harassing you, don't engage with them. Just take a screenshot and report it in the Slack channel, either to one of the moderators that's handling the Slack that evening. One thing we do recommend is if someone is being offensive or saying something inappropriate, when you do take that screenshot and send it to us, don't share it in the general Slack channel where everybody else on the team can see it, because it could make other people uncomfortable, and we definitely don't want to do that. If someone sends you a link or a file, don't click on it. If someone asks you for personal information, don't ever give out any personal information. We really want to keep you safe. Final tips, have fun with it. Be personal. This is a real conversation with a real voter. You can tailor the messages to sound more like your voice. We really want these conversations to be authentic. And the only other tip is don't provide inaccurate information. If you have any doubts about what information you're providing them, ask the digital team. We'll be happy to help you out. Okay, so right now I'm gonna stop the presentation and I'm actually gonna click over and go into the system and show you in real time what it looks like to send messages. So when you log into ThruText, this is the screen you're going to see. Each one of these is a different texting campaign that we've assigned to you. So you can see here, I started one that I have a couple replies waiting for. So maybe I'll get to that a little bit later. But right now, I'm going to click on this. This is a new assignment. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to get started. So you can see over here, I have the list of names of the people I've been assigned to text. And over here, I have general information about the campaign. And then right here in the middle, I have the active conversation I'm having with this person right now. You can see the initial message has already pre-populated here, so there's nothing you need to type in there. So I'm just going to click here, and I'm going to click through and send all of these 10 initial messages. You can go as fast as you want. This is why I like using a mouse for this. Okay, so I've sent those 10 messages. Now I'm just waiting for them to reply. So while we're waiting, we're going to look through and see what we have here. Over here, I've got my survey responses. So as people provide information, I go through and I can mark these different boxes so that we update the database. So for example, if the person replies back that they moved out of state and they're not available to volunteer in North Carolina, I might check moved. If we had a wrong number and they give me updated contact information, I would put that here. If they indicate that they'd like to volunteer with us, I check that box. And this will change for every different texting campaign. We'll have different survey responses here, but the important thing is to kind of scroll through and make sure you're capturing all the information you want to capture during the conversation. Here are our recommended replies. So as I said before, this is like the header, like the title of each recommended reply. If I click over here, I can see the full text. And if that's the one I want to use, I just click on the little plus sign and it populates over here. And then I click, and then I click again to actually send the message. I'm not going to actually do that right now with Mr. Jones. Okay, so that's basically it. When you finish sending all these, we don't have it activated right now, but usually down here, you'll see like a request more conversations button. So if you've sent all your messages and you're not really getting a lot of engagement, not really getting any replies, you can request more conversations and another batch can be assigned to you. And that's pretty much it. What's gonna happen next? Once you finish this training and you sign up on Mobilize for a text banking shift, you'll get an email, and that email is going to have a bunch of resources in there for you. So it's good to save that. You're going to get a training deck just like this that you can refer to if you need more information or you need a refresher on how to text. We create a texting guide for every single texting campaign that has those tips and tricks and FAQs and specific information about the different recommended replies for each campaign. You'll get a ThruText invitation to set up your account before your first shift. And then you'll also get a Slack invitation to the Slack channel. And if you're not familiar with Slack, we're happy to kind of walk you through what it is and how it works. So that's basically it in a nutshell. Thank you so much for watching this video. We are very excited to have you as part of our texting community. And let's get to work flipping North Carolina blue. Thanks, everyone.